Welcome to Real Talk with Reginald D. I'm your host, Reginald D. Today, I'm bringing back a special guest, Asantana Austin. Asantana is a 20-year-old award-winning author, speaker, youth advocate, and a 2027 Grammy-nominated spoken word artist. At 8 years old, she was diagnosed with epilepsy and turned that adversity into purpose through storytelling. Asantana is also the author of Melanated, No Black, which is being used in public private schools and juvenile detention centers. Asantana just finished up an exciting Black History Month tour, so I decided to bring her back on the show so we could hear all about it. Welcome to the show, Asantana.
Hi, it's good to be back.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the last time we talked, I was very amazed about you and the things you were doing at the young age you were doing it at. And I was just so excited. I said, man, we got to get her back on the show. We had talking off air. You was talking about this Black History Month tour that you was going on. I said, okay, so here we go. Asantana, let's go back. Tell us a little bit about growing up with epilepsy and some of the challenges you faced growing up and how you overcame them.
So growing up with epilepsy, I feel like it made me grow up, but I also feel like it made me miss a lot of my childhood. And missing that portion of my childhood, I feel like that's kind of what's driven me to make this whole book thing like a success so that I could live that, comfortable lifestyle that I dreamed of as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. So since your Black History Month tour, let's talk about that. How have you personally evolved, not just as an artist and a speaker and all the incredible things you do, but as a young woman walking in purpose?
I feel like it has helped me evolve as a person by getting to know other people, but not just looking at myself as, oh, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, but, just being able to, take care of myself, take a break from writing and be more involved in my community and in other communities.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Black History Month, the tour that you went on? What did it entail?
Of course. So I did the entire District 186 public schools and private schools as well. And then I did a little bit of Chicago District and Peoria District schools as well. It was really fun. I had a great time meeting new people, answering questions, and hanging out with some of the youth in the community.
Yeah, so what was the most powerful moment from the tour that reminded you why you do this work?
I feel like the most powerful moment from the tour was I was at the school in Springfield and there was this kid who had raised his hand for a question and he had asked me, why do you do what you do if you're going to have haters no matter what? And I had told him, I said, that's a very good question, first off. And I had told him that if you don't have haters, then you're not doing something right.
Yeah, and that's very wise because a lot of people don't understand it. They think that if you're doing it right or you're doing the good things that everybody's supposed to love you.
Right.
People, unfortunately, people envy progress or they envy someone who's making a difference in life, no matter how good it is. But that's what I always tell you. You got to downplay the haters and you got to keep moving. Haters they're just a challenging. I mean, they're just with it. I think they were sent from another spirit somewhere. I think they were just sent just to make you greater.
They're there to make you have thicker skin, make you tougher, make you succeed.
That's it. So on tour, what did you notice about how young people are currently wrestling with identity, culture, and self-definition?
I feel like, especially in the brown community, I feel like in today's age, I feel like we're not as in tune as we should be with our culture and, where we come from and what we're capable of and the things we've accomplished as not just people, but as a community and the things we have to offer as a community, like things like sororities and fraternities, the Divine Nine, the NAACP. I feel like we're not as in tune like we should be. And I feel like that's what I talked about on my tour, giving them great opportunities like those things, like the NAACP, like HBCUs, like the Divine Nine.
Right, right. So your book, Melanated, Not Black, continues to impact schools and even juvenile detention centers. What does it mean to you knowing your words are shaping identity at a young age?
Honestly, it's really a blessing. And it's an honor because I didn't think writing a book was a big deal when I started it. But now that, I've gotten this far, I feel like it's only the beginning of what I want to accomplish with my words.
So, do you think the things that you do and the impact you're bringing, do you think it's kind of going against the grain sometimes?
I feel like yes and no. No, because I know that what I do impacts people in a positive way. And I know that my words have helped people. And yes, because not a lot of people understand what I'm trying to do yet. And, that's okay.
Right. Because I think a lot of times you just got to put it out in the atmosphere, what you're called to do and what your purpose is. Everybody's not going to get it at the beginning. Trust me, they won't. But then, as years go on, I get it myself sometimes. People say, man, you said something 10 years ago that I thought about and it changed my life. But it took them 10 years to get it, you know. But at the end of the day, if they get it, they get it. I think it just comes in moments that it should come. Because when I think, the things that you do and what you're doing, when you're sitting up there and you're speaking to people, you're throwing powerful things out into the atmosphere. Some people catch it right then, and some people will walk away and not get it at one point, but it'll become a situation in their life and they'll look back on like, oh man, Aunt Santiana said this at this place. I remember what she said. And that, that's how it works. It never falls on deaf ears. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's nothing against like me personally. It's just like they didn't understand it at the time.
Right. Exactly. How has your understanding of the phrase melanated, not black deepened since you first wrote it?
When I first wrote it, honestly, I just wanted it to sound really cool. I just wanted my title to sound really cool. But now, as I've evolved as a writer, as an author, I realized that, I picked that title because it means we're more than a label. So we're
Yeah.
more than what we check in a box or what we're called to do, or, we're just more than a color, essentially. So that's what that title means.
Right. Right. And see, what I get from you as a young woman, you're a young woman of faith. And I think, I know, I don't think that's what's going to carry you through. So, how has your faith carried you through moments of exhaustion? Because I know you get tired, you're going to school, you're doing all this other kind of stuff, doubt sometimes. I get it. I've been there. Or pressure as your platform continues to grow. How does faith carry you through all those moments?
God works in mysterious ways. When I was diagnosed with epilepsy, the doctors told me that I wasn't going to make it past 12. And I'm here today. And I didn't know that I wanted to be an author when I was younger. I didn't start until I was about 18, so about 2 years ago. And honestly, it's been a blessing because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life until about 2 years ago when I found writing.
Yeah, and that's how it works sometimes, when you get scrambled in your mind and all that kind of stuff, that sometimes God just say, boop, pull something out, throw it at you, and you're like, okay, all right, okay, we're gonna try this. Then you say, okay, this is really what I need to be doing. Because
Right.
here's the thing, you know, I love it, don't get me wrong, but at 20 years old, you carry a wisdom beyond your years. I'm telling you, when I was 20 years old, I wasn't doing none of this. Everything I was doing was wrong at 20 years old as a young boy. I wasn't a man, young boy. So whether you believe that spiritual maturity comes from with you.
Honestly, I'd have to say like my grandmother, my mom. I was raised in a very faithful household. I played sports and I would write Bible verses on my spikes before I would run. It was Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. God has just always been like in me. And it's just hard not to believe that he's real with everything that I've been through and everything that I've overcome and the things that I've been able to do at such a young age.
Yeah, you're a living example of that. When man said you will make it at 12 years old, God said, no, I got something better. Not
Yeah,
only did he allow you to live longer, he gave you purpose with it.
exactly.
So you ain't got to worry about that part. You're going to keep living as long as he keep giving you purpose and you keep doing what you're doing with it. He got so much greater things inside of you, greater things he wants to do with you. Because one thing about you, first time I met you and we talked on the first podcast, you have a servant heart. and you're an obedient young lady, and that's going to carry you for years to come.
Thank you.
So,
I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
yeah, absolutely. So, what does obedience to purpose look like in this current season of your life?
No season looks perfect, but I have my days where I just don't feel like doing anything. I have my days where they're just bad and upsetting, but I also have my days when I will go on tour or speak at a school or give away things or publish a book or go on a talk show. But no matter like the day or how I'm feeling, you just got to be faithful because God has something for you for that day, because you woke up for a reason, no matter the season. So you just gotta, smile through it all and trust that he has a plan for you and trust that there are better days ahead.
Absolutely. I like that. So, you led Project 500 with the mission of empowering 500 youth through literacy and mentorship.
Yes.
What leadership lessons have you learned that you didn't expect?
Leadership lessons, anybody can be a leader. Anybody can be a leader. No matter your background, what you've done, no matter your past, anybody can be a leader. It just matters, whether you're willing to take that initiative because you have to be willing to lead yourself first before you can lead somebody else.
That's wisdom there. That's wisdom there. Because I always say this, and you're right, you got to be able to lead yourself. And when you lead yourself with a unselfish heart. I always tell people the best leaders are the leaders that have a servant heart. You know, you lead by serving others, and others follow you because you serve, and you teach them how to serve, and then you grow from there. You just want to be a boss, then that's a whole different that's a whole different thing. I mean, you're not gonna get far with that. But being a leader serves first. Before everybody want to be on the mountaintop, everybody want to be seen. A lot of times, I'm like, hey man, who you serve? To get here, and you definitely have a servant heart in what you do. So, how do you protect your peace and mental health while carrying the responsibility of being a voice for your generation? Because that's what you are.
I like to protect my peace by limiting my circle of people. I feel like people feel like they have to have like this big group of friends, but you really don't. You just need like a nice small circle and, don't call everybody your friend. Limit some to associates.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to manage that part of your life. Trust me, because some people, and especially with you, 20 years old, I get it. Most young women or young men, 20 years old, they just hanging out.
Right?
So you purpose driven and you're sent and you understand your calling of what you got to do. So all that the hanging out friends, they can't go if they're not connected to the purpose, you know.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's all right to see the hanging out friends that make it either wherever you're gonna hang out or whatever restaurant, whatever y'all do. But for the purpose, you know, it's got to be the ones that understand what you're trying to do, and that will be limited. You understand that. So, and Santiana, let me ask you this: being a 2027 Grammy-nominated spoken word artist is huge.
Yeah.
How do you stand grounded when accolades and recognition increase?
Well, honestly, the glory is not mine. It's God's.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I love about you. Because I'm gonna tell you something: when people are young, and as they try to mature in life, when they started getting accolades and stuff at young ages, kind of get that swollen head syndrome. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the big head.
Yeah, yeah. Get the big head, but you stay grounded. And I think that comes from, well, I know it comes from your faith, some of the struggles you've been through in life. And, it's coming full circle that, this is not me, God all day. So
Right.
you give it the glory where the glory needs to be.
Exactly. Try and stay humble.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you are. So if the younger version of you, before the awards, before the stages, before the book, could you see you now? And if you could see you now, put it that way, what would you say to yourself?
So the first question you asked, did I see myself like this? Absolutely not. And if I could see myself 10 years ago, the way I am now, honestly, I'd say, wow. Like, wow.
You'll be proud of yourself.
I'd be so proud of myself.
And you should be. And you should be. You are a remarkable young lady, and your legacy is going to be huge.
I hope. I'm just, trying to make an impact where I can.
Yes, and you keep pushing that at your age. Trust me, your legacy is going to be huge. Your impact is not just going to be; it's going to be global. I already see it, see it coming.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, Asanthiana, I have what I call quick fire questions.
Ooh, alrighty.
Yeah, so there's not a right or wrong answer. All right,
Okay, all right.
I'm just going to throw them at you. One word that defines this season of your life.
Ooh, definitely humble.
Okay, a scripture or affirmation that anchors you right now.
A scripture would have to be Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you.
Yes. And what's one moment on tour that kind of brought you to tears?
When the kids had asked me so many great questions about my career, and they were like genuinely interested because they hadn't met like someone from their community who had done so many things.
Yeah, and that's remarkable. And that probably changed somebody's life and gave them so much hope, because no telling where they live or what kind of culture they live in or what kind of community they live in. You know,
Right,
there's good people in every community, every culture, but they just need to see somebody who looks like them, who's came from struggles like them, rise like you have.
right.
And that's game changing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell me one habit that keeps you disciplined.
A habit, probably prayer.
Okay. We got that. We there on that
We
one.
there. We
Yeah, we
there.
there. Yeah, we there. If you could speak one sentence directly to the youth of America right now, what would it be? Let me back up. Let me back up on that one. If you could speak one sentence directly to the youth
I'd probably
of the
say
world right now, what would it be? 'Cause I don't want to say America because I'm telling you, you're going to be global.
if I could speak one sentence to the youth or to America, I'd probably say, if you're trying to accomplish something, whatever you try to accomplish in life, don't let the doubters, get you down because those are the same people who are going to clap for you when you're up at the top.
Yes. And then what does it take to become successful in what they do or what their purpose is every day?
I feel like everybody's version of success is different. So whether you want to go to college and get a degree or be an author, a musician, an athlete, everybody's version of success is different. So if you set a goal for yourself and you achieve that goal, that could be a person's success right there. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm world famous. I've been on this, this, and that. You could, set a goal for yourself and achieve it, and then you could be deemed successful.
Absolutely. Wisdom speaking.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm gonna say this is, I had to bring you back on the show because there was something special about you. I am proud of you. I believe in you, and you have what it takes, and it takes what you got. You just stay grounded, and you stay disciplined. You know, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard of what's gonna be coming with you in the future.
Thank you. That means so much.
Yes, yes, because you got what it takes. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. So there you have it, everybody. And Santiana Austin, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I am so, so proud of you. And I admire everything you're doing. And I will be there for you. You reach out to me. We get off the line here. I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number if you need someone to talk to, inspire you, or whatever case may be, any kind of advice. I'm here for you.
That's great. Thank you so much. I had a great time. And I hope to do big things in the future. Not hope, but I will do big things in the future.
Right. So before we go, what are you working on? You got anything you're working on next?
Yes, I actually just finished the first part of my 3-book series. It's called The Kind of Hate I Love. The series, that's what the series is called. And the book I just finished is called Between Worlds, and it comes out in April.
Okay. So you got somewhere the listeners to follow you and keep up with you?
Asantiana Najin on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Santiana Austin, thank you so much. And I'll definitely be in touch with you and keep pushing.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Real Talk Reginald D. If you enjoyed listening to Real Talk Reginald D, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts. See you next time.